There we are. So here we go. This is the first day of this particular 6-week series, although I did start this on Tuesday. So welcome and thank you. This is our Thursday class, so this is going to be our welcome to Serenity Yoga at Turner, because we're always inviting members of Turner Memorial to join us. Hi, Roz. And welcome. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Judy in just a minute, who's joining us. But we're focusing on the 6-week series. I'm really excited that you all are continuing to come to these
Starting Tuesday.
classes. Yeah, we started Tuesday because you know how we do. We are Tuesday and Thursday. And I love that you asked that, Dr. Leslie, because, some of us can come on Tuesday and Thursday. Some of us can come only on Tuesday or only on Thursday. I always like to recommend, first, let's hydrate. I always like to recommend that you try to have a yoga practice at least twice a week. But it's always good to do something on and off the mat every single day. So that's why I set up the link for you all this particular way. So anything I give to you all for Tuesday, Thursday is your choice. It's like, for instance, Sister Jackson, I know will always be with us on Thursday, right? So that being said, let's come on down to the mat. We're going to set our intention for this is yoga for healthy lifestyle, and that means anything that we get from this class is going to be meaningful, and how we're finding our balance, finding our way through this journey, and finding a way to enjoy our yoga practice on and off the mat. So I'm going to be sharing a few of the yamas and the niyamas and information about the purpose and the philosophy and why we actually practice yoga and all the benefits. But I want us to just come on down to the mat. Let's come down to the floor with your feet on the floor. And I always bring my knees to my chest as I go down, and then take my feet to the mat. Knees are bent. And bring your hands down to the mat. Turn your palms face up. And let's be here for this beautiful moment. Just sinking your back, small part of your back, into the mat. Some of you are going to hear me repeating some of the things that we've been learning over the weeks, but close your eyes right now, settle in, and there's a place in the back of our skull that Julie Gutmastad shared with us during that course that Master Yoga course. That's right there in the back of the skull. It's a place where you can just send your thoughts to. It's like parking. And you just put all those thoughts there and bring your attention back to the center of your forehead. Begin to relax your eyebrows and begin to relax your eyelashes and soften the muscles around your jaw. And if there's anything that needs to get unstuck or released, I want you to just relax it, release it, and let it go as you connect to your breathing. And Dr. Leslie, I'm going to ask you to scoot yourself and turn your mat sideways, because that way you'll be able to glance over from time to time a little bit easier. Beautiful. And you can push it back a little bit farther also so that I can see you. And in our breathing, Dr. Leslie, go ahead and scoot it back just one more inch over near your door. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because that's going to be, you're going to find it beautiful. In our breathing, perfect, perfect. In our breathing, in our relaxing, we're inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And we're going to do something that we did before. and something that we did on Tuesday. So what we had on Tuesday, we will have again on Thursday with a little variation. And we're going to do something called the window wipers. And what that is, we will just literally have the knees touching and take the feet out almost to the edge of your mat, not quite beyond the mat, but just kind of feel with your toes and with your palms facing down, breathing and connecting. Turn your palms face up to the ceiling, soften the jaw muscles, and relax your neck and sink your shoulders into the mat. Just relax. I keep saying the word just, but let all of the muscles find their way into a relaxed mode, with remembering that relaxation actually starts in the mind. And with that mind permission telling the muscles to now relax, we're going to go into something called window wipers. And what we're going to do is breathing in through the nose, relaxing the muscles in your quadriceps, and full breath out through the nose, finding your organic rhythm to your breathing. Inhale here, and on the next exhale, lower the right knee and the left knee over to your right. And you're keeping your shoulders on the mat, letting the knees go where they go, and not forcing anything, just relaxing and really allowing that muscle to release. It's an interesting way of releasing the tightness that we find in our hips from sitting all day. And breathe into this. So you feel your knee is not really, you're not trying to touch the right knee to the mat. And that left knee might be hanging in space somewhere, but it's in a relaxed place, I promise you. So you're feeling you're resting on the outside of your right ankle, and you feel the inside of your left ankle on the mat. And I'm speaking in a slow pace because I want us to slow the pace of our breathing. And keeping your palms facing up, breathing and relaxing. Sink down into your breath, down into the hips, relaxing the shoulders. Your left shoulder might be off the mat just slightly, and that's okay. You might feel the back shoulder blade on the mat. Inhale here and exhaling through the nose. On your next inhale, bring both knees back to center. Notice how your hip is following, your hips are following, and bring the knees together. Sort of adjust a little bit. Just sort of swish back and forth with your hips on the mat. Just sort of lean over to your left, but don't go far. Bring it back to center. Lean over to your right. Don't go too far. And now coming back to center with both knees touching and the feet, the ankles going out just a little bit. Inhale, breathe and relax. Exhale, we're going to take the left knee over to the left, and the right knee is going to follow. So here is where we're going to notice the first sign of there's a difference in our body. Keeping your gaze up at the ceiling, up to the sky, and closing your eyes. Breathe into this and relax. So your left knee is not quite touching the floor, but you do feel your left ankle on the mat, and you feel on the outside, and you feel the inside of your right ankle. Relax the muscles in your stomach. Relax the muscles in your hips. Each time we go into any one of our postures, we find our mountain pose, and that's just a straight line down. Inhale, come back to center, knees touching. Let's kind of connect here. Breathe in again, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Inhale one more time. Exhale, we're going to take the knees over to the right. And we're pausing and stopping. And allow this inner thigh muscle on the right leg to open up just a little bit more if it did so. The more we do this particular move, the more you'll find that inner thigh relaxing. Inhale, come back to center, but this time keep the knees going over to the left and relax. And as long as you're keeping your gaze and the back of your head and your shoulders on the mat in center position, you're going to feel the benefit of this one breathing moment here. On your next inhale, bring the knees back together and walk your ankles back together. So knees are touching and ankles, toe bone, not ankles, toe bone. Now, if we were to use our block, ladies, we would take the block in between the ankles. I'm sorry, in between the knees. And let me tell you why. All I want you to do with or without your block is to separate your ankles and your knees about shoulder width apart. Okay? And if you have your block, awesome. Go ahead and slide the block there. We'll work on that, Judy, in a minute. If you have a pillow, you can put the pillow there. But we're only going to use this for a minute. But if you have a block and if you have a pillow, hang on to it. Let's take it away now from the in between the knees. Place it right here where you can put your hand back on it again. I think I do want us to use that block to go into our bridge. We're going to go into half bridge in just a minute, but right now, totally relaxing and keeping the knees where they are. Inhale, bring your right knee to your chest and grab hold of that space behind the knee with your interlaced fingers. Keep your left knee bent. Keep your gaze up at the ceiling. So what I'm doing is I'm going to walk us through. You can gaze over, check me out if you want to see where you think you should be. But after you do that, I really am encouraging you to keep your gaze up at the ceiling and keeping this knee nice and comfortably close to your right shoulder, simply because it's all about alignment. So starting with the back of the head, the neck, and the shoulders, and relaxing the shoulders into the mat. Your alignment, feeling the space on the left side of your body, the space between your left shoulder, your left hip, your left knee, and your left foot. Now, with your right knee, bringing that right knee into your shoulder and the fingers interlaced behind your hamstring, behind your knee, your toes naturally go to your left. They just have a tendency to go inward. But turn your toes so that for just a minute, you've got alignment in your shoulder connecting to your hip, and the hip connecting to the knee, and the knee connecting to that second toe on the right foot. That is your alignment. And we're teaching our muscles to feel totally relaxed in this posture. And once you find that relaxed alignment, sort of wiggle your hips side to side as if we were going into happy baby. Just kind of relax it right to left and then come back to center, just getting everything nice and comfortably unstuck. Find that alignment and then relax the toe. And I want you to notice that now that you have found that alignment, notice how the toes go a little bit more straight out and not over into towards the left knee. Inhale here, breathe and relax. Bring that knee a little bit closer to your shoulder. Exhale, extend the left leg all the way down, straight down. And you're holding on to the back of your right knee, breathing and relaxing. We're going to go into a supine stretch. This is I call this a delicious stretch. So take your left hand across the body, hold on to the outside of your right knee. And as you release your hand, your right hand, down to the mat, let's gently take this right knee over across the body to the left. And you're still looking up, but it's a tendency to look over to your left. And that's a good thing. If you have your block, place this block under your knee. If your knee can touch that block, that's good. Mine is not. Okay, now if you want to turn your block up long ways and see if your knee touches, that's good. If your knee touches the block in this position, so turn not flat, but turning it up. If your knee to your going over to your left touches, that's just it's just extra support. And if you don't have a block, just it's okay because you're going to feel that toe trying to reach the floor. If you're using the block, your toe doesn't need to really be on the floor. So your right arm is extended to the right. Turn your palm down to the mat, your right hand, and slide your hand down as close to the bottom of your back as you can. And your left hand is out to the side as well. And just relax here. Another place we always find we can place our right hand is right there on the waist. And just breathe and relaxing. Notice, if you will, again, your left knee might be a little bent. Keep it bent. That's a good place to be. If you want to straighten the leg out, go ahead and straighten it out. So your gaze is at the ceiling. You're looking at the ceiling. Turn your gaze over to the left for just a breath. Inhale, bring your gaze over to the center, looking up at the ceiling. Inhale here again through the nose. On your exhale, take your gaze over to your right. So you're turning your head just a little bit. This is a complete supine twist, which really is opening the muscles, relaxing the muscles. You're just being here in this moment. If you're using the block, release the block. Breathe into this as we bring this leg back to center and bend your left knee so that you can bring this right knee up to your shoulder just a little bit more. And if you can, adjust your foot to come just a little bit closer or keep it where it is. On your inhale, breathe and relax. Exhale, straighten this right leg up a wall. Now we're finding where we are in this place. At some point, Judy, I do need to see you because I see your ceiling. So you might want to get something with your iPad to support your screen, because here is where we do a check-in with ourselves. Again, because you told your right toe to be in alignment with your right knee, notice, if you will, where that toe happened to go the minute we took our leg up a wall. Awesome. Bend your right knee and take this right foot to the floor and extend that right leg all the way down. Keep the left knee bent. Breathe here and relax. Inhale, relax. Shake a little bit, move and twist the bottom, and breathe in. On your exhale, extend the left leg down. So we're in our first place of going into Shavasana. Turn the palms facing up, relaxing the shoulders. And here again is where we're noticing the space between our shoulders and our hip, and the space between our hip and our knee. And right here, give your muscles permission to just sink further into the mat as we're grounding into the earth. And if I'm seeing what I'm seeing, everyone is looking very relaxed right now, and I'm loving this. That's great. So breathing and relaxing. Inhale, bend your right knee and keep that foot on the floor. Breathe down into that. Inhale, bend your right knee, put that foot on the floor. And on your next inhale, bring your right knee to your chest. Bring your left knee to your chest and keep your right knee bent. Sorry about that. And holding on to the back of your knee, interlacing the fingers behind the knee, breathing and relaxing here. Inhale, relax. Exhale, extend that right leg straight down as you just stay here for a moment in this moment of total relaxation. And once again, here's another little body awareness. We told the right toe to find alignment with the right knee. I want you to notice as you're holding on to the back of your left knee and your right leg is extended, are you noticing that the left toe has found alignment with the knee? We didn't have to tell it to do that. There's this memory mirroring going on with the total body and the muscles from one side to the other. And I just love how that works. So here we're going to go back into our next supine stretch. So taking your right hand on the outside of your left knee, let's help this, release the left hand, help this right left knee go over to the right. Yeah. And once again, if you have your block or your pillow, turn it to its highest point to relax this knee on that block or that pillow. And if at some point, if you want to feel total relaxation, go ahead and make the block nice and flat. Just play around and find your comfort level with this. It can be at its highest point right here in a relaxed place. You can lower it to the floor and bring that knee down. We've always been doing this supine stretch even without the block, and eventually we'll be doing it without the block at all. But notice where you feel the most relaxed and the most comfortable. And I want to encourage you to keep a slight bend in that bottom leg. It doesn't have to be, perfectly straight. If it naturally bends, that means that's where your body wants to be. So my right hand is resting on this knee here, this thigh. My left hand naturally goes to my waist. So take your right hand and extend it out to the mat. Look up to the ceiling and take your left hand where it naturally goes. If it's, stretching it out in the T might be too much work. I don't really completely like it, but if you don't feel any pull in your pectoral muscles under that arm, then go ahead and make that T. You can also turn the palm down and slide your left hand down as close to the back of your body where your shoulder feels the most comfortable. That's what I love. Yes, beautiful. And keeping your gaze up at the ceiling, turn your gaze over just a little bit to the left for a breath or two. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And as you bring your gaze back to the center, rest your hand now, your left hand on your waist. Your right arm is extended out in your T along the edge of the shoulder area. Full breath in and full breath out. Relax your left shoulder. Breathe into this and relax. There's purpose in our pausing. Deep breath in, full breath out. Close your eyes and be here in this moment as you're giving yourself permission to be here. And release that block or that pillow. And with your hand, let's go ahead and help that knee come back to center. And keeping that right leg extended. Inhale, bend your right knee, and you're holding on to the back of your left knee. Bring your left knee a little bit more closer to your left shoulder. Inhale, let's take this leg up a wall. Beautiful. Relax and release. Let the leg go. Take your hands down to the mat, palms facing up to the ceiling. And feel where your leg is. Feel where that leg is up a wall. You all look beautiful. Beautiful. Inhale, bring that knee back to your chest and holding on to the back of the chest, extend the right leg down Inhale here. On the exhale, take your left foot down to the mat and continue to extend that left leg all the way down. Sink into the mat. Both hands are maybe like an airplane to your side, palms facing up to the ceiling. Relax your eyelashes. Soften the area around your eyebrows. Soften the muscles around your cheeks. Turn your palms down and slide your hands a little closer to the body. Using the thumb as your guide, turn the palms back up to the ceiling. Relaxing the muscles in the hips we just used and the quadriceps, the top muscles, the knees and the ankles is completely, totally relaxed. Inhale, bend your right knee and relax down into that. And on the next inhale, bend your left knee. And we're going to go into a bridge. Now, I need to ask a question, and I'm going to sit up while you all are still in your lying down position. How many of you have a block? And how many of you have a pillow? Roz, you have, okay, I see the block. I see the block. Roz, are you using a pillow or are you using a block? Okay, great. Judy, I'm going to ask you to let me know if you're using a pillow. Okay, perfect. Folding your pillow in half a little bit. Um, we're back down on our back, so use another pillow, Judy, to adjust your camera, your iPad, because we're going to, and Roz, you're using a pillow, correct? Awesome. Okay. Because between a pillow and a block, what we're going to do is keeping the knees bent, we're going to go into a half bridge. So our shoulders are going to stay on the mat and your knees are bent. Let's go ahead and take the block, slide it in between the knees for a second because we're going to use this block down on our bottom or the pillow to help raise us up just a little bit. So take the pillow away and take one step closer with your heels coming towards your fleshy part of the bottom. And on the inhale, lift up and lift your hips off the mat and slide the block on the fleshiest part of your bottom without it being on the mat, on the back. Okay? Now, be here for a moment. Inhale, lift your hips off the mat, slide the block away or the pillow, and lower your hips all the way down. We just did a half bridge just now, but I want to take and keep the block or the pillow right here for a second because I want you to think about and use your peace sign fingers. Let's take the peace sign fingers again to those hip bones. They're called the as is bones, that hip bone right there. And we only feel this bone as much as we do right now when we're lying down. When we're standing, you might feel it, but most times we really don't. So with your gaze up at the ceiling and your fingers on your as is bones, without lifting anything off the mat, I want you to round the bottommost part of your tailbone. Send that tailbone up towards your knees, but keep your hips on the mat. In doing this, you are sending the lower part of your back into the floor, into the mat. So your bottom is on the mat. Keep everything down on the mat. And you're just rounding that hips. Beautiful. Now, with the fingers on the as is bone, this is what we want to do to set up this half bridge. Because in your mind, this is what you're going to be doing to tone these muscles in the abdominal cavity. So if your belly button was a magnet, okay, your two as is bones are going to try to go into the center where your belly button is. And with your sending that tailbone up towards your knees, but your whole bottom, your whole body is completely resting on the mat right now. So that means that your back is nice and straight from your shoulder to the lowest part of your hips. And if you were to take the very back lower part of your spinal cord and have that come into your navel as well, you've got 4 points coming in, drawing into that magnet. Now, with your back nice and strong into the mat, and you're pulling, and these, well, you're not pulling them, these four corners, these 4 points are trying to come in together. I want you to place your hands now like forming like a triangle with your thumb just above the navel and the two fingers, the two pointing fingers are just below. Just rest your hands here and now relax every muscle in your body. That's what we're going to be doing with this abdominal cavity when we go into our bridge. And when we go into our bridge, I need to explain this. We're not going to be tightening the fleshy part of our gluteus maximus. We're only going to be recognizing that the top part of our quadriceps are going to be so engaged, we're going to actually be able to put our hands there and feel that engagement. So now, taking and remembering this, the distance, again, let's take the block and remember the distance between the thigh, the inner thigh and the knee. And now take that block. And what we're going to do now is walk your feet a little bit closer to the bottom part. And on your inhale, keeping your shoulders on the mat, inhale, begin to lift and slide that block under the fleshy part or the pillow and just relax. Lean down into it. I mean, this is now your support. Okay? Release your hands, come down to the side of the body, and palms facing down to the mat. With your gaze up at the ceiling, we're going to walk that right foot a little bit, like half a centimeter closer to the right fleshy side, and now walk the left heel to the other side. Just bring it a little bit closer so that on your inhale, we're lifting the bottom off the block. Release the block all together. Inhale, lift your hips a little bit more and walk a little bit closer to the fleshy part if you can. You can even hold on to your bottom. But I want you to take with your elbows on the floor. Put your hand on the top part of that quadricep. And if you can, go ahead and straighten that leg, that arm, not the leg, the arm. Feel how engaged these quadricep muscles are. Relax the gluteus. Hands back down on the mat. Let's relax and release and lower on your exhale, one vertebrae at a time until your bottom has reached the mat. And when your bottom has reached the mat, really adjust your shoulders, extend the right leg down, extend the left leg down, turn the palms up, look up to the ceiling, breathe and relax. We did it. There was a lot of work and a lot of instruction to get us to that point, but the next time we go into that, we won't need that many instructions, right? Thumbs up, somebody. Right. So on the next inhale, with your palms down, inhale, bend your right knee and keep that foot on the floor. Exhale down into the toes. Inhale, bend your left knee. Walk a little bit closer. Keep your palms face down. And on the next inhale, begin to lift and form that straight line as if you had that block. And for 2 seconds, walk your feet a little bit closer so that you can inhale and lift just a little bit more. Keep your gaze up at the ceiling. Now breathe into this. Relax. Open the palms up to the ceiling for 2 more breaths. Smile. You're toning. Turn the palms down. starting at the shoulders, one vertebrae at a time, come back down to the mat. And once your bottom reaches the mat, breathe and relax. Extend the right leg, extend the left leg, turn the palms up. Wow, we did it. We are focusing on working the core muscles. And if that is not the easiest way to relax our core muscles, I don't know what is. I don't think we need to be doing any more crunches. Now, we're going to go into one more way of really toning the muscles, but let's just breathe and relax here and give the body an opportunity to rest. So from here, if you have your strap nearby or your long scarf, let's go ahead and just stretch that across the body and get ready for the next posture that we're going to go into. Close your eyes again, palms facing up to the ceiling. Allow the ankles to come away from each other about the width of your yoga mat. And take your arms out to the side. Adjust your strap somewhere. Form a T with your arms out to the side. Bend your elbows to form that W. And let's extend back into the T. Turn the palms down and slide your hands all the way down along the side of your body. And walk your heels in to be near each other, about shoulder width apart. We're going to do a couple of arm extensions. So before we go into this, using the strap. So keeping your palms facing the body. So you're resting your hands on your pinky and the thumbs are literally facing up to the ceiling. Inhale, raise the arms straight up above your shoulders. Exhale, lower the hands all the way overhead. Relax your toes. Palms facing up to the ceiling. Breathe and relax. And now on the thumbs, but the thumbs are not really on the mat. Palms are facing. Inhale, bring your arms back to reach up to the ceiling. Lower your hands on the exhale back down to the floor. Palms facing up. Awesome. Just a nice full body stretch. So now let's do this one more time. Inhale, raise the arms all the way overhead and keep going. All the way over, full extension. Breathe and relax into this. And on your exhale, bring the arms back over, passing the ceiling, going all the way back down along the side of the body. As close to the body as you can, relaxed, and open the palms to face up to the ceiling. And using your thumbs as a guide to open the palms keeps the arms and the shoulders in place. Awesome. So here we go. Inhale, bend your right knee, foot on the floor, and bend your left knee, foot on the floor. Inhale, bring your right knee to your chest. Keep your left knee bent. And let's take this strap and get that strap on the bottom of the ball of your foot. And once you get that strap connected to the ball of your foot, let's just extend that leg up a wall. Awesome. So you're holding on to the foot with your strap or your let's see, what are we calling it? Scarf. Thank you. And we're going to use the strap first, and then we're going to not use a strap at all. So using the strap and the left knee is bent, let's begin to hold on to the strap and lower your leg straight down, sliding the strap through, not pulling, no tension, just letting it go. It's not so much the going down, it's the coming up, maybe, I think. So with your hand a little bit farther away from your right hand, a little farther away from the left hand. Lift, and let's bring that leg straight back up. Awesome. And keep that toe going over as if it wants to reach above or just over the forehead for just a breath, and bring it back to center. Inhale, bend the knee, and let's take that foot down to the floor. Keep the right knee bent and keep the left knee bent. And keeping that left knee bent, now extend that right leg down for just a breath. Awesome. Breathing into this gives the body a moment to relax. Inhale, bend your right knee. Relax down on your breath. On your next inhale, bring the left knee to your shoulder, and let's get the strap on the bottom of this foot. And once you get that strap, let's extend that leg up a wall. Beautiful. Awesome. And again, holding on to the strap with both straps together, we're going to keep the right knee bent, lower the left leg all the way down. Really loosen this. You're not holding this tight at all. Inhale, sort of walk your way up the strap to pull that leg back up. And notice, if you will, the way that the muscles in your back were working to help that lowering and lifting. Inhale, bend your knee and relax. Release the strap. Take the right foot to the floor. So here comes the part of our class today where we're going to do one more thing as you bring your right knee to your shoulder. Bring your left knee to your shoulder. And we're going to take the knees away from your chest by extending your right arm and your left arm. So with your fingertips lightly touching the top of your knees, and everyone looks really good. As long as your arms are straight and extended, this is what we call our 90-90. We want to be at a 90-degree angle to get the full benefit of what we're about to do. So on your inhale, you're going to breathe and relax, looking up at the ceiling. Exhale, take your right heel to the floor, and the fingertips are just sliding away. So the fingertips are right now above the knee. Inhale, bring that knee back, and your fingertips are there. Exhale, lower the left heel. Only the heel touches. Inhale, come back to center. This is working, but we'll feel the benefit of this as we move along tomorrow, maybe. So inhale, relax. Exhale, lower the right heel. Inhale, bring it back up. We are working. Notice the muscles in the abdomen that are working. Relax through this one. Inhale. Exhale, lower the left heel down to the floor. Inhale, bring this back up, and bring both knees to your chest. Now, we're supposed to do this at a count of maybe 10 times each side, each section, and place your fingers behind your knees at this point, and let's rock over to one side and then to the other, just rolling over. So at this point, let's go ahead and play with our happy baby before we go into our total relaxation. So right here, as you find your center, with your hands behind each of your knees, bring your knees out to shoulder width apart and a little bit wider if that feels great. Okay? Now, several ways to go into our happy baby. One way is to just be right here. This is the first best way. So if you were to straighten your legs all the way out with your legs as far wide as you possibly can, legs straight up a wall, and just forming that V. Now, placing your hands behind your knees and really rest your elbow on the mat. Now let's go ahead and bend that knee. So that's about as far apart as you want to be with this. So if your knee's bent and your knees going out to the side. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do that full body extension with the arms Take your arms and face your fingers up to the ceiling. So with your two peace sign fingers, you can try to slide your two peace sign fingers in between the toes. That's one way. It's work, okay? And your elbows are on the inside of your knees as you do this so that your knees can be a little farther away from each other. Yeah, that's option number one. Too much work. Second option is just to keep the elbows still inside your knees, but resting your fingers on the inside of your arches. That's option number two. The other way is to bring your elbows down to the mat. Go and have your hands on the outside of your knees, but keep your knees as far apart as you possibly can. Because this is really, if you start your meditation from here, relaxing the back of your neck, relaxing the shoulder. You can do a body scan from the base of your neck, one vertebrae at a time, all the way down to the very base of your tailbone, and just relaxing everything. So with your elbows resting on the mat, take your hands on the outside of either one of your knees and place your hands comfortably behind your knees. That to me, now this just happens to be my favorite way to go into Happy Baby because it's easy. Now, from here, you can just place the hands on the outside of each of the knees, and in a comfortable way, like with feather holding onto the knee, take your knees over to the right, take your knees over to the left, and use your hand to kind of bounce it back and just rock and roll with this, relaxing, going from one side to the other, and just finding your comfort zone in this. This is awesome. And coming back to center, bring the knees together, bring the ankles together. Take your right foot to the mat, keep that knee bent. Take your left foot to the mat and keep that knee bent. So one more challenge, if anything was a challenge today, keep your gaze straight up to the ceiling. Take your hands down to the mat. We're going to bring both knees to our chest. Inhale, bring both knees to your chest. That was work. But the reward to this is just to take your legs straight up a wall and notice how much more easier it is to do that since we've been doing all those other things. Now take your hands down to the mat, turn your palms up. One of the reasons why I'm going to always encourage us to go into this Happy Baby and then legs up a wall is because right here with our legs extended, we do a check-in. So how do your ankles look? How do your ankles feel? Where are your ankles in space and time? As you breathe and relax into this, we're reducing the fluid around the ankles. We're reducing the amount of fluid that's collecting around the knee joints. We're lowering our blood pressure. We're slowing down the heart rate. We're increasing oxygen to the brain simply by being in this one posture. And that's why we're going to use straps as often as we can. Bend your knees to bring them to your chest. Take your right foot to the floor. Take your left foot to the floor. Extend your right leg. Extend your left leg. Breathe and relax into this. And notice how much more easier it is today to be in this Shavasana. Now we're about to go into our restorative pose where we elevate our legs and find that comfort zone. But if this is comfortable for you today, I'm going to encourage you to stay here. So bend your knees, feet on the floor. Come over to your right side fetal position, curl up in a nice ball. Everything we did today was on the floor. I know we're supposed to have at least one standing posture in a yoga class, but today just called for total relaxation. So if you're going to elevate your knees, onto your bolster. Come up to a seated position, extend that leg all the way down, and let's get everything ready to go into that Shavasana. So, but before we get the bolsters and everything, extend your, keep your right knee bent, extend your left knee straight out, your left leg straight out. Bring your hands into prayer pose. This is, I'm gonna sit back so you can see where I am and how this is how you want to feel. But what we're doing is we are taking our hands into prayer pose, and you are finding your alignment with the toe to the knee and knee to the hip. Breathe and relax. Find your mountain pose. This is our seated tree pose. Breathe and relax here. Extend the arms out to the side, palms facing up. Inhale, bring the arms all the way overhead, palms are facing. Exhale, lower the arms down. Keep the palms facing, paralleling the floor. And in our seated tree, take your gaze straight ahead and find your concentration, find your tree. Awesome. Relax your shoulders, bring the jaw down. Inhale, bring the elbows close together as you bring your hands into prayer pose. Relax that straight knee and extend both legs out. Shake it out a little bit. And inhale, bend the left knee. And your left foot is going to be comfortably resting below the knee, and the arch is sort of fitting into that calf area like a puzzle piece. Bring your hands into prayer pose. Find yourself sitting on your sit bones. Breathe and relax here. Take the arms out to the side. Notice where the alignment is in that toe and the knee. Inhale, bring the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, take the arms out to the side, palms still facing. Find your tree. Relax in your concentration. Lower your shoulders. Breathe and relax. On your inhale, bring the elbows close into the body and bring your hands into prayer pose, Anjali Mudra. And so let's bring our hands down to the side. Let's prepare for our final relaxation. Many of you are going to have your pillows under your knees. I'm going to scoot over here and get my pillows to show you. Judy, back in the fall, we did almost everything with our pillows, relaxing. Sister Jackson, it's 7 o'clock and it's time for her to go. So let's do this as we sign off. Let's all come into prayer pose and let's bow to each other. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let's bow to each other in our Sangha. Thank you so much for sharing your class with me. I'm going to turn off and invite everyone to check in if you want to stay and go into Shavasana wheel. Sister Jackson has to go to a meeting, so I'm going to unmute you and say, bye, Sister Jackson. Thank you. And I'm going to unmute everyone. Love you. Let's do a check-in for just a second as she signs off. How's everyone doing?
Fine. I
Very
need to
good.
sign off as well.
Okay, I love you, Dr. Leslie, because I just looked up.
Love
It's
you all.
exactly 7 o'clock. I love you so much. Thank you for sharing your practice with me.
Thank you,
I'm
Sharon.
going to because I have my 5-year-old with me.
Oh, and I saw her. Tell her we
And,
said
and
hi.
if the microphone had been on, you would have known, even though I told her to be quiet.
That is too precious.
It
She kept
is.
Thank
whispering
you.
to me.
Uh,
Love you, Dr. Leslie. Thank you.
love you.
I'll see
Namaste,
you guys on
everyone.
Tuesday. Love you. Namaste.
Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste, Zarita.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, how is everyone doing? Judy, how are you feeling? And Judy, this is my friend Roz, who is in Atlanta. Now,
Oh, okay.
Roz, I'm so glad the two of you all are here together. Guess what?
What?
Roz and Fern are very close friends.
Oh, okay.
Judy and I are very close friends with Fern. And when Fern comes to DC, Roz, I'm also accused by Judy and Becky of saying, "You're hogging Fern. You're hogging Fern.
Yes,
Let her spend some time with us."
That's
yes.
great. She has all these people fighting over her. I love it.
So, Judy,
Uh-huh.
Roz is Dr. Rita's sister who's in Kansas. Remember the workshop we did back in the spring?
Yes.
Well, this is her sister, and so Roz is how we were able to get Dr. Rita to come and do that wonderful. It is a wonderful little small circle that we have here.
Circle.
That's good.
Yes, it is. So,
Hmm.
so Judy, I want to ask, how are you feeling? This was Judy's first class with us, Roz.
Oh, wow. Welcome.
Uh, I probably need to go sit in the warm tub for a minute. I have stretched joints and done things with my legs that I haven't done in a long time. But
And we were trying to be real gentle, weren't we, Roz?
Yeah.
but no, I mean it feels good.
Yeah.
And I know you have to work into it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I'm not surprised by the way my joints feel.
Okay.
So, I mean, nothing is painful,
Great.
but I know
Yeah.
that they're joints.
Well, let me just say this. I'm gonna ask Roz to chime in, but let me just say this. Am I right about this, Roz? This is about the extent of stretching. This is a very gentle class. It doesn't get more intense or more painfully stretched out than this, does it, Roz?
No, no.
Okay.
And I'll just add, the more you do it, the easier it gets, but it's a
Yeah.
very gentle approach, which I just love. And I find I wasn't here on Tuesday, but we did a similar class last Thursday.
Right.
Mhm.
And my body was so relaxed. I was like floating through the house on a cloud. It just, and sometimes you don't feel it until
Yeah.
it may be 30 minutes after the class, but I think you will feel the release that your muscles have experienced. You just feel
Yeah.
so light and you sleep like a baby.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, that's
I
good.
feel,
That's the promise
yeah,
I
I
wanted to
feel
give you.
after, and I guess the reason is because you end up stretching every muscle, every ligament. And I think in that stretch, it releases something. It's like a chemical release of some, it's like taking a drug almost. Your body is
Mhm.
just
Right.
pressure's
Hmm.
gone and you'll feel the lightness of it.
Well, I'm hoping I uh, can be or continue every Thursday because I keep my daughter's dog, and when she works late, he's here past 8 o'clock, and so I'll have to see what I can do with him while I'm laying here on the floor, because otherwise it will be a total disruption.
That is precious. Well, I am so excited that you're joining me, joining us. This is just awesome. And again,
Thank
this
you.
connection that we have every now and then, I think Fern comes on Thursdays as well, doesn't she, Roz?
Usually, sometimes
Hmm.
she has Toastmasters.
That's right.
Hmm.
That's right.
Hmm.
So she and Judy,
Uh-huh.
sometimes it might flip-flop. So if you can't do a Thursday, you can come on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
So you've got options.
Hmm. Yeah,
Very
I
good.
flip flop like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And that's
Very good.
fine. Well, ladies, thank you again so much. I'm just thrilled that we're sharing this together. And you all have a really good evening. And whatever you found in the class tonight, incorporate that, Judy, into going to sleep and
Mhm.
waking up. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Denise. And
Thank
nice meeting
you.
you, Roz. Is that who?
Roz,
Okay.
nice to meet you, Judy.
All righty. You all
Love you
take
both.
care.
Okay, you
All
too
right,
now.
All
you
righty.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
You still celebrating?
You know I am. Look,
Good.
every day, I mean, and oh, by the way, let me stop the recording. I'm just going to say namaste one more time. All is so well.